Hey guys, I'm all different kinds of pink right now. I've just been sort of half napping, so that's why. But I wanted to make a video today, and frankly, it really doesn't matter what I look like. I feel like the topic that I want to discuss, it puts things into a lot of perspective, and it makes a lot of things seem really insignificant. So I haven't even put my camera on a tripod, I haven't put any makeup on, I haven't brushed my hair, I've just sort of run my fingers through it. I haven't got any fancy lights, I haven't got a microphone, I haven't got any light boxes set up. I've just stuck my camera in front of my face and I want to talk for like maximum 15 minutes. And I haven't given myself a script of any description. Obviously I know what I want to talk about, but there's no script and I don't know what aspects I'm gonna end up talking about or focusing on, or whether I'm gonna get emotional or not. I have no idea what's gonna happen in the next 15 minutes. Today is March the 7th, 2017. And that marks 1 year since my good friend Beth, who I knew as Kels, she also went by Yael for a lot of her life. She ended her life exactly a year ago today. And I'm very, very sentimental when it comes to dates. So, you know, I remember dates of everything. I'm really good with birthdays, you know, anniversaries of really insignificant things, like my pescaversary is coming up in a couple of weeks. I mean, who cares about that? But it's going to be a year since I went pescatarian, and I think that's really cool. But so today I've been thinking a lot about Beth. Actually, I've been thinking a lot about her recently. Basically, since it happened, I've thought about her every single day. That's no exaggeration, I've thought about her every single day. Even, you know, at the beginning of this year I had some really, really hard news to deal with and some really, really tough things to deal with that I'm still going through. And even through that, she was still a big thought in my mind. And I would say the event of her death triggered suicidal ideation in me, because obviously that's how she ended her life. It didn't make me suicidal. I've mentioned this in other videos before. It didn't make me suicidal, but it just made me think about suicide, and I think that's, you know, almost expected in a way, because, you know, that's what she did. And I think that's why her death has resonated with me more than, for example, one of my best friends, Matt, died in January. He died, I think you could probably call it complications of his diabetes. We think he went into a hypo in his sleep and he just didn't wake up. And I just think that Beth's death resonated with me a lot more because of how it happened. And, you know, there was media involved, people wrote newspaper articles on it, and you know, they were very sort of the typical articles you know, you wouldn't be surprised to see if that happened. But when it's about an event that's more personal to you and about somebody you knew in person, it felt kind of graphic and almost kind of like, I'm trying to think of the word, like invasive. Like, obviously nothing was written about me, but, you know, her family was mentioned, who are amazing, amazing people, by the way, and, you know, I'm thinking about them every single day, and my love just, I have so much love for them. They are just such lovely, lovely people, and they don't deserve to go through this awful, nobody deserves to go through something like this, but they really don't, and my heart breaks for them. And I have a lot of care for them, even though, like, we're not particularly close or anything. But, you know, there were some articles that talked about her family. You know, there was one that I read that mentioned, like, what her parents did for jobs, and I was like, that's so irrelevant. It's so irrelevant. And yeah, like a lot of things in the media, things are taken out of context and the wrong things are focused on. Like, so Kels, she hung herself basically, and, you know, there was so much like photography and like videos of like where she did it, and like I could now go and point to the tree that she did it on, and that I don't think that's okay. I mean, I don't really know what I want to say. Basically, the last year has been very strange. Like, they say, you know, so many people commit suicide every year, but this is the first time I've actually known somebody who has. And I'm still coming to terms with it, I think. You know, still a year later, I can't quite believe it's happened. You know, Beth was a very complicated person. And I remember at the funeral, there was, that word came up a lot from people who knew her vaguely well to very, very well to her family. You know, her family said she was complicated, and I never really got to know the degree of that complication. Like, I think that was how she was with a lot of people. But, you know, she had her own issues, and, you know, it makes me so, like, it breaks my heart that she got to that point. And, you know, I've been at that point, and I've come close to it as well. And I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, least of all somebody who was so lively and just so outgoing and fun and bubbly and hilarious. Like, you couldn't hang out with Kels and not be, you know, laughing all the time. She was so much fun. I knew her best as we played a lot of music together while we were at school, and for a little bit after that. And you know, we had so much fun performing together and playing together, and you know, there were so many squabbles in our band and like fights and people shouting at one another. There were a few kind of conflicting personalities at times, but I can just remember, so I don't know if any of you knew about Skyline, but you're welcome to look us up. We have a YouTube channel that still exists, I think, and a Facebook page, and there's some footage around of various concerts we did. And I remember so many band rehearsals. Cherie and Mr. Michael Chidgey, who was our other guitarist, screaming at one another. I think these are the two sort of biggest personalities in the group, and I just remember so many times turning to Kels, who was sat behind the drum kit, and me sat there with my guitar, just looking at each other and just sort of like, and we shared so many moments just of like eye rolling, and she was so, I just have so many really fond memories of that time. And you know, the few months we were in the same band they were absolutely amazing, and I did things that I will never get to do again and never thought I'd ever get the chance to do. And she was not only very important, it wouldn't have happened without her. Basically, she was the driving force in all of this, and I learnt so much from her. And she will never know how much she gave me, and even if I could tell her, she'd deny it. And you know, she's so modest. She was so modest and humble and down to earth, and yeah, like, she gave me so much in terms of experience and confidence. And you know, she would throw me in the deep end in terms of music. And I remember even my guitar teacher, who we both had the same guitar teacher, I remember we sort of worked sort of together. So Kels would write something, and my guitar teacher would then maybe go through it with me in my lesson. And I remember Kels, who is, I suppose, first and foremost a drummer. That's what she was known for more. She played guitar very well, but she was a drummer, and I think it's pretty much like it's common knowledge through musicians that drummers write really weird guitar lines, and they don't know how to do it. They do chords funny, and basically Kels was really good at traverse picking and lots of different picking styles, which I loved, and I really got on board with that. And that's part of the reason why I loved playing her music. But I remember there was one particular lesson where my guitar teacher sat down with me, and he put this tab in front of me that he'd sort of somehow tabbed out from a guitar line she gave him, and he was like, I don't know how she played it, I can't play it, but you're gonna need to try. And we sat there for like half an hour trying to play this like unnatural guitar piece. I can't actually remember if we actually took that anywhere, or if that went any further than that one lesson before we just went, nah, that's too much. But yeah, Kels was I have so many fond memories with her. Like I don't think I have any bad ones at all, and I'm glad it'll always be that way. It'll always be that way. And like I said, it just breaks my heart that she must have been in such a dark place to do what she did. And it's so horrible. And I don't know, the one of the big thoughts that I couldn't stop thinking when, you know, I found out what had happened, first of all, was I hope she wasn't in any pain, like physical pain, because I don't know how it works. Like, I understand sort of conceptual what happens, but you don't know until you go through it yourself. And I just hope she wasn't in any pain. And the other thing is I just hope she wasn't sorry. It would kill me to know that she was sorry for what she did. Like, yeah, that was one of the first thoughts. The first thing I thought was that I forgave her for what she did. Because I think if it were me, I'd probably feel sorry, and maybe that's why I thought it, but I didn't want her to have felt sorry. On some level, I understood why she did it and how she felt, and you know, she must have been in absolute dire straits to feel that that was the only thing left for her. I'm going to try and find some links to the fund that's been set up in Beth's name. It's been set up in so money goes towards, I think it's Just Papyrus. I think it's set up for Papyrus. It's a Just Giving fund, I believe. I will put all the links down below. But her family set up a fund in Beth's name to raise money for Papyrus, and they've done an amazing job. In the last year, they have raised so much money, and I think they've done some stuff for Mind as well. I saw a couple of things. I was looking at some stuff earlier. And I'm going to put the links down below if any of you want to check it out, or you know, or would like to donate anything. I just feel like this video has kind of been a bit of a mess, but that's sort of how I feel right now. Even a year on, I still can't believe what's happened has happened. I don't know who's going to end up watching this. If you were related to Beth, if any of Beth's family are watching right now, I'm thinking of you today and every day. I know, you know, we're not like super tight, but if you need anything, I would be there to help. You have amazed me and astounded me with your strength over the last year. From day one. I remember, you know, funerals are not easy things to go through for anybody, and you struck me as some of the strongest people there, and that blew my mind. You know, obviously I felt for all of you, but I think I was particularly, I'm trying to think of the word, I think my heart broke, not so much more, but in particular for Liat. I'm an older sister, and the thought of losing my little sister, it doesn't bear thinking about, and I don't know what I would do, you know. She's like my best friend. And so I really felt for you, and I felt like I could relate most to how you felt. And you know, we've spoken maybe like once or twice ever, but I'm thinking of you as well. You've done an amazing job over the last year. I saw you doing marathons, half marathons, things like that. I really admire you. I don't know what else I want to say. I feel like I want to refilm this. Maybe I'll just put in some footage and some pictures from the band. I found some bloopers from our rehearsals, and we were a ridiculous bunch of people. How we ever managed to perform at Wireless is absolutely beyond me. You know, I didn't know if I wanted this video to be more of a, you know, me talking about Beth and how wonderful she was, or me, you know, sending my love to people who are missing her today, or as some sort of suicide prevention video. I feel like, you know, suicide and suicidal thoughts are very close to my heart and very important to me, because I'm quite passionate about mental health and because I have personal experience with it. However, I just don't feel I could take on the responsibility of doing a video that solely talks about suicide, or that tries to sort of discourage, I suppose. Like, there are a lot of videos, you know, there was one particular that I watched and I really enjoyed. It was one of Claudia Berlin's videos. I don't know if any of you watch her, but I love her videos, and she did one for people to watch if they felt suicidal, and I thought she just nailed it. I think, was it I don't think it was ASMR, but I think it was just a sort of meditation, like calming video, and she nailed that. But you know, I could not do that. I don't know, maybe it's because I feel I'd be sort of hypocritical, because I get those thoughts and I've had them a lot recently. I got very emotional at the weekend. Like, this year has been very difficult, and at times I felt like that was what I was gonna do. I'm not gonna lie. Do I want to say something to Beth? I don't know. It's awful that she's gone. Honestly, she was such a bright, colourful person, and the world it's grayer without her. There's a big hole left in the lives of a lot of people. But now she doesn't have to go through, you know, the emotional pain that she was clearly going through, and the psychological trauma. I know how horrible it is, and there are times where I wish I could just sort of not be anymore. That's the sort of, I haven't been saying, or I haven't been thinking primarily in the last few months that I wanted to kill myself. There have been times where I thought that, but that's not the primary thought. The primary thought is just I didn't want to be. And it's horrible, but she now doesn't have to deal with that anymore. She's free, and it's horrible, but it's nice to know that she's as safe as she can be. You know, she doesn't have to worry about things. She doesn't have to go through and feel the emotions she clearly felt, and I think she must have felt things on a sort of extreme basis. Like, when things were good, they were really good, and when they were bad, they were really bad. I just hope she wasn't sorry. And I'll always sort of wonder what was the last thing that ran through her mind. You know, was it remorse, or was it regret, or some sort of anticipation? I don't know. I think I probably need to stop talking now. I've recorded for much longer than I planned to do, so I'm going to put in some videos at the end of this, I think. Sorry for making this so long. I'm not quite all here and don't really know what I want to say. Thanks for watching. Please go and check out Team Beth. They're doing an amazing job on behalf of an absolutely amazing girl who we all miss. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
I'm gonna sit back here.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you, Sheree! I'm gonna kill you! I can't do it! No, stop, I can't do this. I actually can't do this. We need to do this!
Okay, let's just do it more rather than start solemnly. Let's just go. Now.
Can you not sing now, please? My sunshine, sunshine, you make me happy, but it's so great. You never notice how much I love you. To take my sunshine away from Becky. Can we watch it?
I missed the beginning. Go, yeah, go.
Is this the group?
You've lost it.